Okay, you guys ready? Let's roll. We got a bit of a journey ahead of us. Back in the mountains. Back where I belong. It's kind of a cool day. It's a little bit overcast, a little bit of rain. We had some rain. We had some rain last night, a little bit of rain today, this morning so far. But and it's cool. Like, it's quite cool. I don't know exactly what the temperature is, but it's probably around. It's probably only like 10 degrees. So it's nice hiking. Had a great weekend on the West Coast with the family. Went out in the boat and did some fishing, did some beach walks, and just hung out, had a great time. And I got this beautiful, I'm hoping I can get you guys a better view of this lake down below me. It's just a beautiful lake. Just deep aqua blue water. And it's rugged country here. Like this is as steep as it gets. As steep as it gets here in the West Coast, man. Like, I'm gonna try to zoom in over there for you if I can here. Yeah, like that is rugged country. Needed to get back to my happy place. Let's put it this way, one of my happy places. My wife always says, is that all that makes you happy, is just the wilderness and the mountains? And I'm like, of course not. You make me happy, and the kids make me happy, but I love the mountains. This area that I'm in here is absolutely loaded with huge Roosevelt elk. And also some massive black bears, and also apparently a very troubled cougar. Apparently there's a very dangerous cougar in this area, so, but whatever, not too worried about it. And look at this. I didn't so much as just mention that. And check frickin' this out. Check this out. That, my friends, is an elk rub. That is an elk rub from last year. Yep. There's lots of elk in here. There's an old one. There's an old rub from probably a few years ago. Wow, there's a pretty nice view of the lake. There's a bit better view of the lake, eh? How beautiful is that? Beautiful and rugged. Rugged steep. yeah, look at that. There's elk shit right there. See the elk shit? Not super fresh, but fairly fresh. Sometime in the past few months. This is yeah, this is a real super hot spot for elk. So just so you guys know, I'm going to actually, oh man, look at that. Hang on 1 minute. All right. Now that I got this phenomenal green screen behind me, yeah, this is a really good area for elk. I've seen some huge bulls in here, like massive. These are Roosevelt elk. They're big to begin with, but this area is really rugged and remote, and they're in here pretty heavy, and they get really big in here. So just so everybody knows, like for hunting and whatnot, here on Vancouver Island, there's no open season for these elk. You actually have to put in for a tag. It's a draw system, and I've been putting in here for elk for about 36 years. 36 years, every year for 36 years I've put in a draw. Applied here, it costs you $6 or $7 or $8 or whatever to put in, and in 36 years I've never gotten the draw. Good odds, eh? That's like it basically is like winning the lottery. It's crazy, but I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in our wildlife management systems and the people to look after it, so I put in just for whatever. You never know, maybe one day will be my lucky day, but 36 years I've never gotten the draw. I must tell you something. Yeah, gorgeous lake, big lake, beautiful color. There's a bunch of glaciers back here to the west of me, northwest of me. There's a bunch of glaciers and that feed into the rivers that feed that lake. So it's a beautiful lake. It's big. There's a lot of elk shit in here. But it's a long ways down to it, so I'm not going down there. So try to be a little bit quieter, because you just never know when we might see an elk. That would be cool. So that's a little tiny bit bothersome about this cougar in this area. From what I've heard, it's chased some people, or it's chased some hikers. It's not right here. It's not right where I am. It's probably about 5 miles from here. 5 miles, maybe 8 miles from here west, and there's a provincial park in there, and apparently there's been hikers in there, and I think this cat has I think this cat's maybe chased a few hikers or whatnot, so a little bit bothersome, but whatever. I'm not going to let a crazy cougar ruin my time in the bush. I can guarantee you that much. Ain't going to happen. See a few old elk rubs in here. So I'm trying to, I still got lots on my agenda of things to do here. I've chatted since the weekend with Eric, the fellow I was telling you about, that has some information he wants to share with me over a Zoom call, and inevitably that'll all get shared with all of you, because I asked Eric. I spoke with Eric briefly and via email, and I said, is it okay if we record? Is it okay if I record our meeting? And he said, of course. So hopefully I can do that and share it all with you, see what Eric's got to say. For sure, he says he's got some pretty good information for me, us. And what else? Oh yeah, we got the still planning on the live Q&C. Gonna do that too. I don't know exactly, just if anybody's kind of waiting for it, I don't know exactly when that QC, the live Q&C is gonna happen. I don't know exactly. I just don't have a lot of time right now. Because there's a lot of daylight hours this time of year, and I'm not one for being inside when it's daylight out. I like to be out doing stuff, so doing shit and hiking. And anyway, so I'm gonna try to figure out a time for the QC. I just don't know when that's gonna happen. So bear with me, we'll get there. And what else we got planned? I still have plans. I still have plans for this. I mentioned to you guys a while ago, I was planning on doing a bit of a lost scenario, and I don't quite know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. Oh boy! See how it goes from nice open walking to this? Don't like it. Anyways, I'm going to do. Still working on the. He's almost wiped out. I'm still working on the logistics of that and how I'm going to make that work, but it is in the works. I was thinking what would be really cool would be, one thing that would be a really cool way to do it would be a helicopter. Get a helicopter and no GPS. Try to go old school for everybody. Get a helicopter to take me, into the mountains, remote, somewhere that I'm unfamiliar with, and just have my old school compass and very, very basic survival gear, and go back and go see if I can get dropped off somewhere, and then go see if I can find my way out. Maybe have this. I would be stupid to not have this, but what I would do is I would have the inReach but not use it, obviously. And it would be dumb to go out into the woods without it for me. So maybe I take the inReach just for emergency or whatever, but don't use it. Just rely on old school and try and find my way out. And go through some real life, real time scenario of, no food, you're lost, like literally lost, don't know where I am, got to find my way out, and show you guys that, because I think it's really important. I think it's really important. I've mentioned before in other videos about my feelings on the importance of what I would call Self-sustainability. Is that a word? Self-sustainability. I don't give a shit if it's not a word. It is a word now in my vocabulary. And I'm big on self-sustainability. It's actually pretty cool. If it isn't a word, it's a pretty damn cool word. But I'm pretty big on that, right? Because I think the more that a person can look after themselves, food, water, shelter wise, I think better off you are. Because you never know, right? You never know what's going to transpire in this day and age and what's going to go down in the world. And I just don't think it's a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket and rely too heavily on the local governments and other people. You know what I mean? Because you know what? The thing is push comes to shove, shit hits the fan, things go south. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You are the only one that's gonna look after yourself and take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You don't ever rely or put your life in somebody else's hands. Bad idea. Bad idea as far as I'm concerned. So anyways, I'm gonna take a break here for a minute. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on with my videos is kind of like self-sustainability. I use that word a lot now. Looking after yourself. And to be quite honest with you all, the number one part of looking after yourself is right here. Looking after the brain. You got to be in a good state of mind, and you know, do the shit you want to do and get out and enjoy the shit you enjoy doing. And that's why I come out and do this stuff as much as I can, because this right here is absolute beauty to me as far as I'm concerned. I was just chatting with one of my subscribers emailed me, Linda, and Linda gave me she emailed me an experience that she had, several experiences that she's had in the wilderness with something. She doesn't quite know what the encounter was with, but some type of a being, an animal, something, right? She had an encounter. She emailed me that and told me all about it, and I was very grateful to hear from her about that. And then she emailed me again and shared with me a lot of her, you know, a bit of a background of herself and what she's gone through in her life and stuff. And you know, she says that it's tough, but she still gets out in the woods and enjoys it and does the things that she loves to do. And that's the most important thing. So you gotta have good peace of mind first and look after that, and then look after yourself, your body, right? And I think that's what I'm going to focus a lot on is, you know, like foods and you know, as I said, we fish, we hunt, we garden ourselves. Don't get me wrong, we do buy food still. We're not, you know, we're not living off the grid or anything like that, but I do as much of that kind of stuff as I possibly can. So yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to focus on a little bit is, you know, there's a lot of channels out there showing bushcraft skills and 500 different ways to light a fire and all that. And you know what, I'm not going to change the stuff I've done. I'll continue to show you guys whenever I have a fire and use my ferro rod. I'm going to show it. You know, little tips and tricks that I've come up with over the years. I'm going to share them for sure, because you never know, man. One day that could be really valuable information. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna work my way up here I've come up from sort of the bottom of the valley down here. I've come up from down here, come up this ridge. I might work my way to the top of this next ridge. Might get a little bit better view of the lake. And I don't know, might start throwing together a little bit of a shelter. I just got my saw and my axe. Didn't bring anything with me, nothing. Like, I mean, my minimalist tools. My saw, my axe, my knife, my 2 ferro rods. What else did I bring? I always carry my snare wire. I always carry my paracord. And that's it. No food, no nothing. Bugger all. You know what? You can go days with no food. I can. I ain't the skinniest dude on the planet, so I can afford a few days of no food. Don't about it. I was talking to Steve Isdall the other day. Any of you that don't know Steve Isdall, howtohunt.com, the facts by how to hunt. Holy Jesus, this is tough to get up. Hang on, is that gonna hold me? Holy, hang on. Oh. Holy. That sucked. Sorry, anybody that doesn't know who Steve is, Steve's got a YouTube channel, The Facts by How to Hunt.com. And so I've had a few chats with Steve. And we were just talking the other day, because he was out fishing same time I was out fishing. And he got some beauty fish as well. And so anyways, we were talking about doing a hike into my lake. Sorry, I just got a whiff of something. The wind's blowing pretty good, and I just got a whiff of something. Anyways, we're talking about, him and I are still talking about doing a trip into my lake, my secret fishing lake. And we'll make it happen. It's just a timing issue. He's a licensed saltwater fishing guide, and so he's obviously, it's his busy time of the year. I don't think there's a time of year that guy's not busy. But anyways, he's pretty busy with fishing charters, and of course I'm still pretty busy, so we don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. We're going to get in there together. So I've said so many times that you have to be careful, or sorry, don't have to be careful. Well, you got to be careful in the bush as well. I'm still thinking I got to be careful after that. Trying to get up that bank there, but I'm trying to find a way up this little bluff, and I got to be careful. But anyways, I've always said when you're out in the woods, you need to pay attention to your surroundings, and I honestly can't stress that enough. You need to pay attention to your surroundings at all times. And you know, even just something little like You know, I winded something there, okay? I smelled something. I don't know what it was. Probably a bear. I could, you know, who knows? It could be near a wolf den too. Wolves smell, wet dog, right? That's what it smells like. If anybody wonders, you know, if you haven't been close to a bear or wolves or whatever, that's what it smells like, is wet dog. If you smell that wet dog smell, you better have your ducks in a row. And you better be prepared. Pay attention to it. And if you don't have a firearm or whatever, it's probably a good idea to get out of the area that you're in. That's what I would do if I didn't have a firearm. You know, you don't need to panic. Remember what I said? Panic kills you. Panic can kill you. You don't need to panic, but you do need to pay attention to it. You guys, this is frickin' steep, let me tell you. And it's a lot of this is just rock covered with moss and dead trees, so you haven't got a whole lot to hang on to. But yeah, pay attention to your surroundings and you will be okay. I think we're gonna make it. Now there's a pretty darn good view of the lake. Pretty darn good view of the lake. So right down in here, this is a beautiful little draw in between two rock bluffs. Just a nice little spot. And I'm actually going to make really good note of this, because this would be a really good spot to build a shelter. And you can probably hear already, the wind's blowing on the hills here beside me, but in this little gully, it's so tight in here. It's so tight between the two rock hills that the wind's way less. There's far less wind down in here. And you know, you're protected, right? Protected here, and this is certainly somewhere that I would consider building a shelter, like right in here, right? Enough room in there to lay down, light a little fire right here, lay down right in there, have a little fire going, got enough trees to build a decent little shelter. So I'll keep this in mind, but that's, you know, there's a good pointer for you, right? I mean, I'm sure you can hear the difference already from where I was. I'm gonna go back up there, but from here, with very little wind, you'd be protected. This would be a great spot to, this would be a great spot to camp out. Oh, it does get warm when you're hiking. No doubt about it. But it's nice. It's not too warm. So take a little break here out of the wind. Yeah, this would be a great spot to build a little shelter. So one of my longtime subscribers, Greg, he emailed me, messaged me, and then emailed me. And he said, hey, if you get a chance, he said, I'd like to hear about your tattoos that you have. My tattoos, you probably, I guess, saw them on the last video or whatever when I was on the water. So and he goes, could you tell me about them and whatever. So you know what, I'm just going to do a real quick lowdown on the tattoos for Greg and anybody else that's curious, because yes, they're very meaningful. They're very meaningful pieces of work. So turn this camera down here slightly. So this tattoo here, okay, this is the first piece that I got on my forearm, and I've got my last name here, and I designed this tattoo. It's that one there. You probably can't even see that. Yeah, so it's that one there. And that tattoo, I designed that myself, and that is this combined symbols for life, love, and loyalty. Okay, and that's got my wife's name here at the top and both my girls' names here on the sides. And like I say, that is the symbol for life, love, loyalty. I put that one together, had that one done. And then this star here, this huge star here, that's from my dad. I got that from my dad when he passed away. My dad's parents, grandparents, so my dad's parents, my grandma and grandpa, these two stars here, and my other grandparents, these two stars here. And then this piece here is my owl, okay? And the owl is one of my spirit animals. And yeah, I believe in spirit animals. I sure do. Always have, always will. So the owl there, he's my spirit animal. He's tied into that one. Okay, and then this piece here on my arm, obviously that's a memorial piece for my dad. Got my dad here. My dad and I fishing in the boat, the mountainous scene, and the bald eagle. Because the bald eagle is also another one of my spirit animals, has very significant meaning, and is also so happens to be my dad's favorite bird. So that piece there was done for my dad. And then this piece here on the inside of my arm, this piece here was done for my mother and father-in-law. And that's my mother and father-in-law walking down the driveway, Dutch windmill in the background. They're from Holland, and so that's why the windmill, walking down the driveway hand in hand. That was taken from a picture that I had of them that I just loved. The two of them, and they were probably in their 70s when this picture was taken, walking down the driveway. And then below that it says Voralted salmon. Voralted salmon down here, and what that means is together forever. And I got that piece from my in-laws, my mother and father-in-law, because they were absolutely two of the best human beings that I have ever met in my entire life. They both had the biggest hearts in the world, phenomenal people, do anything for anybody. And it was just my way of honoring them. They did so much for me and my family and my wife and I and our girls, and they were just amazing people. And you know, I think about them all the time, and so that's why I got that piece. So yeah, that's oh, and I got one more. I don't know if you can see. Okay, one quick one here. This piece here. Okay, I got this piece over my left chest, over my heart, because that there is the best recollection image of the grizzly that almost took my life, that was 6 feet away from killing me. Obviously, I got a pretty good look at his face, and when I went to my tattoo artist, I said, you need to draw it first on paper because I need to see it, because I have it right here. So I had that piece of that grizzly. You know, that grizzly, it was me or him, and obviously it was his time before mine, so he expired and I didn't, so I carry him right here, right over my heart, just to as a you know, to remember that how precious life is and how quickly it can be taken from you. So anyways, that is the story behind the ink, Greg. A couple other people actually asked too, so I just thought I'd show you guys what it's all about. Am I done yet? Probably not. No. I only get tattoos when they have to really mean something. Sorry, I missed one here. This one here. This tattoo here, okay? That one there I had done, and that one says, die with memories, not with dreams. Pretty self-explanatory. Die with memories, not with dreams. Don't be on your deathbed going, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that, I didn't do enough. You know what? I say it all the time. I say it all the time. It ain't a dress rehearsal, right? We get one shot at this life. Give her hell. Give her hell. Go like shit. Enjoy it. Be happy. Do your things you want to do. Be a good person. You know what I mean? You're in control of your life. So that's what that one is. Die with memories, not with dreams. And I do it all the time. So that's it. Yeah, I'll get more. But they're all very meaningful. I won't get like just a tattoo for the sake of getting a tattoo. It has to be something that really means something to me. So yeah, I will. When the time comes, I will get more. Okay, I am not going to camp out because it's too early. So I'm going to carry on up the ridge here, and we'll get some more video later. You know, it's too nice to light a fire. So I don't know, maybe light a fire later on. We'll see what happens. I don't know what time it is. I can look at my phone, but what time is it? It's about sometime between 10 and 2. That's my guess. Lots of emails come in lately. Just wanted to touch on that real quick. I've been getting a lot of emails from people and, you know, different things. And I told you guys I love it. I love hearing about your encounters, your stories, your adventures. A lot of questions, you know, hey, how do you do this? What would you do here? How do you do that? You know, keep firing them at me. Easy for me to say. God, I thought my knees were the only thing that don't work. My mouth don't work half the time either. Fire them at me, because questions that you guys have gives me ideas of things to do when I'm out in the woods and you know, help teach people things. So, but lots of great emails lately. Sent out a whole bunch of Outlaw Country mugs and a couple cutting boards people have wanted and stuff. So thank you guys, you know, for purchasing that stuff. As I said, I don't make a penny at those. Mrs. Outlaw does all the engraving work and whatnot, and I take her out for nice dinners and whatever. She enjoys it. I enjoy it. You guys enjoy having them. You can order them. You just email me. Let me know what you're after, and I'll get a price for you. All I charge is the cost of the mug or cutting board and shipping. That's it. All right. So, okay, I'm sitting long enough. I'm gonna rock and roll. I had to laugh when we were out last weekend on the boat, and my son-in-law, he's been on the boat a fair bit. He's been around, so my and so anyways, he's been in the family a long time. He's done a lot of boating, a lot of fishing and stuff. And my youngest daughter's boyfriend Hunter there, he's been around for 2 years. So hang on a second here. Yeah, so Hunter's been around for a couple of years, eh? And so he's only had basically 2 summers that he's been out here on the West Coast. He's from the East Coast of Canada, and he plays hockey down in the United States. He's been to a few different organizations. He's been through a couple of organizations now. Anaheim Ducks organization and Chicago Blackhawks and Arizona Coyotes now. So he's been around a bit, but anyways, he's only been with us out here a couple of summers. Did a little bit of fishing last year and a little bit of fishing so far this summer. We're gonna do some more in a couple of weeks, but I loved it, man, because he was just like a kid in a candy. He was like a kid at Christmas time when those fish were on, and he was just having a blast. And I friggin' love that. I just love to see people, you know, he's a grown man, and to see people acting like kids and having that much fun. And of course, Dayton's ribbing him on, right? Dayton's grilling him, giving him a hard time about. See people just having fun like that. There's nothing better. For me, honestly, I just love it. Anyhow. Well, I just did a stupid thing. Oh, man. Yeah, I just did a stupid thing. Even experienced people do stupid things.